What's going on, guys? Mark here with Reaper Airsoft, and today I'm going to do a video. I had a request on how to revive a dead Lipo. This won't be how to save a puffed up Lipo. If your Lipo is puffed up and it's puffed up bad, for safety concerns, it may be time to just change it. What we're going to do is we're going to try and save a Lipo that was actually discharged too far and it's not puffed yet. So I'm going to go through some of the steps that I do when I try and save these things. Now, this is not always guaranteed to work. I have been fortunate enough that we have been able to save some. And you're definitely going to want to do it with, like I said, with a Lipo that has not been puffed up. So in most cases, when you have to do this, it's going to be with a battery that basically ran dead. Let me see if I can adjust the camera here. You play too long. Now it's below the minimum voltage for the testers. When you hook it up to your Lipo charger, it just won't charge the battery. The charger won't do anything. It won't charge the battery at all. And typically that safe voltage is like 3.3 volts is the minimum you're going to want each cell. There's 3 cells in there. So that 3.3, 3.1 area is when you start getting that low. That's when you know you have an issue. And once it gets too low, the chargers won't charge it at all. Now, it's not to say the battery's not dead, it's just that the charger thinks it's so low that for safety reasons it doesn't want to retry. And like I said, you can try, it's not guaranteed, and I do recommend using a prior-proof Lipo bag when you try this stuff. If you guys haven't seen the videos of these things catching on fire, YouTube it, Google it. These things can, and in case of an 11.1, they can go up in 3 different phases because there is 3 different cells, and you can see flames shoot as high as 7-8 foot straight up, and some of it can be almost instantaneous heat. It's a nice deep red flame and it's hot. It will burn your house down. So if you're going to do this, do it on concrete with a Lipo fireproof bag here. Just take some common sense precautions. I'm not liable if you mess this up, short circuited or anything else. This is all on you. This is just to try and save your battery. Now, unfortunately, I don't have one that's just completely dead. The last one I did was for a customer. So I'm gonna show you what I do off of one that's normally charged. Now, I normally like to take my tester to it first. Let's see. Some of my wires on this one are old and loose. Alright, so we have 3 green. So this battery is good. Normally what you would see is all 3 would be red. It would be beeping, buzzing that it's below the safety voltage. That's what these buzzers are for, the testers. Is like a little bit of a warning. You can leave it on there when you play. Yes, it will draw battery current because it is lighting LEDs. But when you're playing, if your battery does get too low, it'll beep and buzz, let you know, hey, it's time to charge your battery so you don't ruin it. Now, typically, I'm not plugging anything in because I don't have to. You're going to need a Lipo charger, and then you're going to need a normal smart charger that's 12 volt capable for an 11.1. And this is just a normal, what are these? I don't even know what brand this is. Let's look here. This isn't even branded. I want to say this came in one of those Lancer tactical packages. I'm not sure. But you're going to need one of those. So normally when you have an issue, you're going to plug it into your charger, and you're not going to see. It's not going to start lighting up. It's not going to charge. No matter what you do, just for safety reasons, it's not going to charge. So your charger's not broken. It's your battery's dead. It's just too low for that safety reason. Normally what I'd like to do is I like to test the battery itself just to see what the voltage is. And we'll do this one in this case, and you guys can see that. 11.97, that's good. Normally 11.1 volt battery, you want almost 12 volts, if not above 12 volts, when it's fully charged, just because it's it balances it out. 11.1, you should be above 11.1 volts. You never really want it below 11.1 volts because then it's almost dead, if not too far weakened. So in this case, say I threw this battery and I tested it and it came up 9 volts, 7 volts, 8 volts, anything lower than what it's supposed to be. At least 3 cells with 3.1 to 3.3 volts each minimum. we should have at least a minimum of 9.9 volts on there. So say you test this and it's 7.8 volts, it's pretty low. It's it's not going to charge on your charger. So what we do in order to fix this is we take one of these normal nickel metal hydride smart chargers, and you never want to charge a LiPo on this fully, just because each cell needs to be balanced to the same voltage. If they're not balanced, that's when you can start getting the puffing, the fires, all the stuff that comes with LiPo issues. So when you go to do this, you're going to make sure it's on a 0.9 amp. We want the lowest amp setting possible, because we're not trying to charge this battery full. We're just trying to get it above the threshold, above the 3.3 volts per cell. So the 9.9 for an 11.1. For 7.4, it's 6.6. We want to get it above that. So what we normally do is we'll plug it in. We'll plug the LiPo in, and we start letting it charge. Now, when we do this, we only do it maybe for 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes of an increment, we'll charge it for 5 minutes, unplug it, come over, hook the tester up. If the tester's all green, if you get green lights on each cell, so all 3 cells from 11.1, there's one where it came loose. So see this cell, it's a little, so this one needs charged. So if you have your cell still doing that, throw it on a little bit longer to get it above the recommended charge level. Once you see all 3 cells are starting to light up green, and like I said, I do this in 5-minute increments. Once you see all 3 cells are green, hook your LiPo charger back up, plug it in, and let it charge fully. Now the LiPo charger, actually, if you look on it, let me turn this around, hopefully it, balance charger. We need all 3 cells to read the same amount of voltage. So that's what the balance chargers do. These do not balance charge. So you cannot charge a LiPo on this, because you could put all the voltage to one cell and it'll actually rupture that cell. It'll cause the fire and everything else. You can ruin your battery. So like I said, when we do this, I like to have them in a LiPo fireproof bags. I do it for 5 minutes at max. You don't want to charge this full. Don't walk away when you're doing this. Don't, sidetrack. You need to focus on this, because this can burn your house down. And yeah, it will happen. Like I said, look at videos. Look at some of the RC forums, because RC cars and they've been running LiPos for a while now. So this is something you need to stay on top of when you're doing it. So like I said, if you can throw it in an ammo can, even a coffee can, something metal, put it on concrete, no carpet, no cardboard, no wood, anything flammable. You want to do this as safe as possible. So like I said, if you do it right, you throw it on there for 5 minutes, everything flashes green, you should be able to hook it up to your LiPo charger. The LiPo charger will see that it is high enough voltage wise that it can take over and start charging your LiPo again. Now, fair warning, if you do this constantly, if you drain this thing past the low cutoff point constantly, you're just going to ruin your battery. It's going to void your warranty. It's going to just absolutely destroy your battery, and it's not going to work. And you have a risk of it shorting out inside your gun, ruining your trigger contacts, wires, motor, pretty much, the whole electrical system of your gun, which can cost a pretty penny. Some of the motors are $50 plus. You're doing a whole new wire harness swap. If you don't know how to do it yourself, you're paying a technician, which is normally a minimum of $20 per hour plus parts. So you can be almost $100, $150 into a gun repair because of user error. But that's the steps we take, when we do this. Like I said, a voltmeter helps. You don't necessarily have to have the voltmeter. I just like knowing where it is at the final charge when it's full to see how full it actually is. The testers definitely help. These things are cheap most instances. They're under $10. They're under $15 to $10, somewhere in there. It's nice to have. These testers do work on the 7.4s too. I don't think I have any 7.4s out here. But instead of doing, all 4 in, you would do, which way? I think it's this way. It's not going to do it on its own because you need the 7.4. And I don't have any 7.4 sitting around, but you just use 3 of the pins to test it. So you can save them. You just have to be careful when you do it. Like I said, guys, just be cautious. Be 100% cautious when you do this, because you don't want to burn your house down, your wife, your parents, whoever's going to kick your ass, and then it's on you. So a little common sense and a little caution goes a long way when you do this, but you can bring your dead Lipo battery back to life. If I do end up with another one in that is dead that we think we can save, I will do a video of the exact process there, showing you what we do step by step. Same thing. We test it, hook it up 5 minutes, test it, hook it up to the Lipo charger once it's passed, once everything's green again, let it charge up full. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple, but a little bit of caution goes a long way to keep your house there. If you have any questions on the whole process, or any questions about the batteries or anything like that that you want to know, leave a comment below. We'll answer them. This is a Dean connector. I know I'm going to get that question. It's not going to focus. Of course, it's not going to focus. So we're going to focus. It's a Dean connector over the standard Tamiya connector. Because I know somebody's going to ask about that. Give me a second here. This is the male end of the Dean connector. So just to answer it now, Dean connectors they allow more current to go through instead of the small pins of the Tamiya. These are more energy efficient than this. So there's less resistance, less heat, less stress on the system overall. You can get a rate of fire increase from going to Dean connectors on your equipment. You can get prolonged life out of your battery because it is more efficient. There's less heat generated, so you need less energy to actually turn over the motor and the system. And with all electrical systems, guys, heat is the enemy. So if you can release the heat and just reduce the heat overall, your performance and your efficiency go through the roof. Something like a Dean connector, I think these are like $5. There's a video somewhere on our channel of Dean connectors that, how to install. They're soldered right on. They're not crimped on. So the efficiency's through the roof compared to the Tamiya. One of the best performance upgrades you can do right off the bat. So that's what that is. If you wonder what that is, I make adapters. That way I can go from hook to the gun, to the battery, or hook to the charger in this case, because the male connector, just an adapter. That way I can charge. And these things they're snug. There's no clip, or because they are tight. I mean, when you go to put them in, you'll see that they're snug. So that's what that is, before I get that question. Dean connectors, D-E-A-N connectors, or T-plugs. Lipo tester. This is the buzzer. Voltmeter, chargers, you guys should know all the basics here. Any other questions other than that, like I said, leave them below. We'll answer them the best we can. Try and help you out and solve your issues so you can get up and running. If you could, give us a like, bro. Hit the subscribe button. If you like these videos and they helped you out, hit the subscribe button. That way we know we need to make more of these to help you guys out. If you have a specific issue that's not even related to this, maybe your nickel metal hydrate batteries or something like that, whatever, throw a comment below. We'll do our best to answer your question and get it answered in a timely manner. That way you don't have a paperweight or an issue sitting out there forever. We'll do whatever we can to try and help you out. So like I said, hit the like button, leave a comment if you have a question, or if this helped you out, leave a comment, let us know it helped you out. And if you want to see more videos to kind of help you out, hit the subscribe button, guys. We'd appreciate it.